Life after 60 often moves at a gentler pace, inviting us to savor the small, beautiful moments and choose what truly brings comfort and joy. Yet many of us, without realizing it, hold on to patterns that weigh us down, chipping away at both our finances and our happiness. In this video, we'll explore 9 common spending traps that can quietly slip into our lives, shared through real stories of women just like you. You'll find practical wisdom to release what no longer serves you and embrace choices that make each day feel lighter, fuller, and truly yours. Stay until the end to discover small but powerful shifts that can transform your financial peace and help you live with more joy. Because you deserve a life as beautiful as the moments you treasure most. Now, let's begin with the first trap. The illusion of designer labels. This is a temptation many of us have faced. The allure of expensive brand name clothing and accessories. For decades, society has told us that elegance is something we wear, that a prestigious designer label stitched into a blouse or embossed on a handbag somehow raises our worth, earns greater respect, or makes us more visible. Women, in particular, have been conditioned to believe that a well-known brand is a shortcut to sophistication, a symbol of success, and a way to broadcast our status to the world. We invested in silk blouses from Chanel, leather handbags from Coach, and heels from Nordstrom. For a time, it felt right. In the workplace, a polished appearance seemed to project professionalism and ambition. At social gatherings, it signaled style and confidence. A carefully chosen outfit once helped us blend into circles where appearances seemed to matter. Even at family gatherings, dressing impeccably offered a sense of control, a way to project strength and poise. For many, it became a ritual, like putting on armor against the world's judgments, a way to feel empowered in our own skin. Take Helen, a 68-year-old woman living in a quiet, tree-lined neighborhood in Pennsylvania. She was once devoted to fashion, her closet a treasure chest of designer labels. Each morning she would stand before it, carefully selecting the perfect outfit, perhaps a tailored blazer, a silk scarf, or polished leather pumps. She took pride in matching her accessories, from delicate earrings to elegant handbags, ensuring every detail was flawless. For Helen, these choices weren't just about style. They declared her identity and her place in a world quick to judge a woman's appearance. But retirement brought a profound shift. The busy days filled with meetings and social events gave way to a slower, more reflective rhythm. One crisp autumn morning, as she stood before her overflowing closet, a question rose in her mind. Who am I dressing for now? Her life had changed. Mornings were spent baking cookies with her grandchildren, their flour-dusted hands laughing over misshapen dough. She tended her garden, coaxing roses and lavender into bloom beneath the warm sun. She volunteered at the local library, reading to wide-eyed children and helping elderly patrons navigate the computer system. None of these moments required. A $300 pair of shoes or a designer jacket was no longer what mattered. What truly counted was her presence, her warmth, her laughter, and her ability to be fully engaged in each moment. Helen still dresses with care, but her wardrobe now reflects her new priorities. She chooses soft cotton dresses, comfortable flats, and cozy cardigans, clothes that let her kneel in the garden or chase her grandchildren across the lawn with ease. When asked about her style, her eyes sparkle as she says, "The best thing I wear now is my smile." And she means it. Her joy radiates from a place of authenticity no designer label could ever offer. True elegance isn't purchased at a boutique or displayed on a hanger. It flows from within, from the way you make others feel in your presence, the kindness in your voice when you share a story, or the light in your eyes when your grandchild runs into the room. Real confidence comes from being yourself without apology, not from wearing a logo. Your worth is inherent, woven into the very fabric of who you are. So the next time you feel tempted to splurge on something flashy or expensive, pause and ask yourself, does this item bring genuine joy or just carry a heavy price tag? Does it reflect who I am and how I want to live? Choosing comfort, confidence, and authenticity over status can feel like shedding a weight you never needed. And in that lightness, you'll find a freedom no designer brand can provide. 2. The pressure to upgrade technology. In today's world, there's a constant push to adopt the newest devices. Every year, tech companies roll out new phones, tablets, smartwatches, and gadgets, each promising faster speeds, sharper cameras, and features we're told we can't live without. The marketing is relentless. Sleek ads flood our screens, and social media buzzes with influencers showing off the must-have device. The message is clear. If you're not keeping up, you're falling behind. It's a tempting story, one that feeds our desire to stay connected, relevant, and in step with a fast-changing world. But this constant chase comes with a cost, both financially and emotionally. Take Ruth, a 72-year-old woman from Oregon, proud of her independence and tech savviness. She was no stranger to smartphones, using hers to stay in touch with her daughter in California, share photos of her garden, and enjoy online puzzles. When a new phone appeared on the market boasting a revolutionary camera, titanium body, and cutting-edge features, Ruth felt a spark of curiosity. Why not? She thought. Maybe it would make life even better. So she spent over $1,000 on the device, expecting it to simplify her days and enhance her connections. Instead, the opposite happened. The new phone felt like a maze of unfamiliar menus and confusing settings. Buttons she once knew were now in different places. Notifications flooded in, and she even missed important calls from her daughter because she couldn't navigate the new interface. Far from empowering her, it left her feeling frustrated, inadequate, and disconnected. All Ruth truly wanted was to FaceTime her daughter, see her great-grandbaby's first smile, and share photos of her blooming peonies, things her old phone had done perfectly well. Her experience is a reminder. Technology should serve us, not control us or cause unnecessary stress. Newer doesn't always mean better, especially when what you already have works reliably. The tech industry thrives on making us believe we're missing out, but wisdom lies in recognizing that good enough truly was enough. Ruth made the bold choice to return the new phone and go back to her old one. With its familiar layout, she regained control and peace of mind. Now, she uses her phone with intention, to connect with loved ones, capture moments that matter, and engage with the world on her own terms, not those set by the tech industry. If you feel pressured to upgrade, pause and evaluate. Ask yourself, what do I really use this device for? Does my current phone, tablet, or laptop still do those things well? If the answer is yes, resist the hype. You're not behind. You're wise, able to tell the difference between a want driven by marketing and a need rooted in daily life. Keeping what works saves your time, money, and peace of mind, allowing technology to enhance life rather than complicate it. 3. The weight of credit card interest. This is a financial burden that often hides in the shadows, quietly eroding both savings and peace. For many, credit cards began as a convenient tool, a way to cover a dinner out, buy a thoughtful gift, or handle an unexpected car repair. They offered flexibility, a bridge until the next paycheck. But over time, small charges pile up, and what began as a manageable balance can swell into daunting debt. The real sting comes from interest, draining hundreds or even thousands of dollars, not for anything you enjoy today, but for purchases long forgotten. Consider Joanne, a 70-year-old widow from Florida who knows this burden well. She had spent most of her life frugal and careful, budgeting to provide for her family. But after her husband passed away, loneliness and uncertainty crept in. To cope, she turned to her credit card more often, buying small comforts online like a soft throw blanket or a new coffee maker to brighten quiet evenings. She sent lavish gifts to her grandchildren to see their faces light up. She made home repairs to keep her house feeling like a sanctuary. None of these. The purchases weren't extravagant, but they added up. Joanne didn't realize how much until she sat down to review her finances. The numbers shocked her. In just 2 years, she had paid over $9,000 in credit card interest alone. Her heart sank as she thought of what that money could have covered. Medical bills, home repairs, or a long-awaited trip with her sister to the beaches of Key West. The weight of that realization was heavy, not only financially but emotionally. Debt isn't just a number on a statement. It's a feeling that can keep you awake at night, whispering worries about the future and regrets about the past. But Joanne refused to let despair define her. She acted with the same resilience that had carried her through life's challenges. She called her bank and negotiated a payment plan that fit her budget. She made steady, manageable payments, slowly chipping away at the balance. To boost her progress, she sold items she no longer needed, a rarely used dining set, some old jewelry, turning clutter into cash. Most importantly, Joanne forgave herself. She understood her choices, though imperfect, came from grief and a longing for joy. Learning, she reminded herself, is part of living. Her story is a powerful reminder. Debt doesn't have to be a life sentence. It is a challenge, yes, but one that can be met with determination and support. Many women carry this burden in silence, believing they must face it alone or that it reflects a personal failure. But you are not alone, and debt does not define your worth. Resources exist, from financial counselors to debt. Consolidation programs and even community workshops can help light the way forward. The less you owe, the lighter you feel. And that lightness makes room for joy, creativity, and the freedom to live life on your terms. If you're carrying credit card debt, take one small step today. Review your statements, call your bank to explore options, or talk with a trusted friend or advisor. Every step, no matter how small, is a victory. You deserve to reclaim your financial peace and the joy that comes with it. By shedding the weight of interest, you open the door to a future where your money serves your dreams, not your debts. 4. The silent drain of unused subscriptions. In today's world, this is a trap many fall into without even realizing it. Companies have perfected a strategy built on our forgetfulness and inertia. They lure us with free trials, limited time offers, or endless entertainment, hoping we'll sign up on impulse and then forget to cancel. Over time, those small charges, $19 for a streaming service here, $19.99 for a fitness app there, quietly add up, draining our bank accounts. Consider Margaret, a 66-year-old retiree from Austin, Texas, as an example. In the early months of the pandemic, when the world felt uncertain and isolating, she turned to the digital realm for comfort. She subscribed to multiple streaming platforms, Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, HBO Max, and even niche services like BritBox for her love of British mysteries. She also signed up for several fitness apps, promising herself she had planned to stay active while stuck at home. At the time, each subscription felt like a lifeline, a way to maintain control and bring a bit of joy during a difficult season. The monthly costs seemed small, and the convenience was undeniable. But as months turned into years, Margaret noticed a pattern. Her viewing had narrowed to just 2 shows, reruns of Murder, She Wrote, and a weekly cooking program, both available for free through her cable package or on public streaming platforms. The fitness apps went untouched, their notifications ignored, yet the charges kept appearing on her credit card month after month. When she finally reviewed her expenses, she was stunned. Over $90 a month, more than $1,080 a year, was going toward subscriptions she barely used. That money could have funded a weekend getaway with her sister to the Texas Hill Country, boosted her emergency savings, or paid for a series of special dinners at her favorite local restaurant. It wasn't just a number. It represented security, experiences, and joy she had unknowingly given up. Determined to take control, Margaret combed through her bank statements, listed every subscription, and canceled all but one streaming service she kept for her beloved mysteries. She adopted a new intentional approach, rotating subscriptions each month, choosing only those she was truly excited to watch. Along the way, she discovered a hidden gem through her local library, a free app called Canopy, offering thousands of movies, documentaries, and educational programs at no cost with a library card. From award-winning films to thought-provoking documentaries, Canopy enriched her life without adding a single expense. Margaret's story reveals a broader truth. We're often led to believe more choices mean more happiness, yet the opposite is often true. An overload of subscriptions can create decision fatigue, leaving us overwhelmed and disconnected from much of the content she was paying for. Margaret discovered that paring down her subscriptions not only saved money, but also brought back the joy of intentionality. With fewer, carefully chosen options, she could savor her entertainment more deeply. If you haven't reviewed your subscriptions lately, now is the perfect time. Check your bank or credit card statements, identify recurring charges, and ask yourself, when was the last time I used this? Does it still bring me joy? Canceling unused subscriptions isn't just about saving money. It's about reclaiming control over your finances and focusing on what truly matters. The relief comes not only from the dollars saved, but from the clarity of living in line with your values. 5. The cost of chasing the jackpot. Every Wednesday and Saturday night, in millions of households across the country, a quiet ritual unfolds. People choose their numbers, buy lottery tickets, and hold them with a spark of hope, dreaming of a life transformed. For a brief moment, the possibility of winning feels close. Debts paid off, travels around the world, or a secure retirement within reach. But behind the excitement is a hard truth. The lottery is not a financial plan. It's a dream we pay for, often at a cost greater than we realize. Dolores, a 65-year-old grandmother from Cleveland, Ohio, knows this well. For years, she played Powerball faithfully, spending $10 every payday on tickets, sometimes doubling to $20 when jackpots reached headline-making amounts. For her, it wasn't only about the money, but the possibilities. Paying off her modest home, helping her children with student loans, or taking her grandchildren on a dream trip to Disney World. Each ticket felt like a small investment in hope, a quiet maybe next time after every loss. After 5 years of steady play, Dolores decided to face the numbers, not on her ticket, but in her bank account. She carefully tallied every $10. When she added up every $10 and $20 spent over the years, the total was staggering, more than $5,000, not including the occasional scratch-off or extra plays during massive jackpots. That amount could have paid for a new roof, a reliable used car, or a solid cushion for unexpected medical bills. Instead, all she had was a shoebox full of losing tickets and a growing sense of regret. The realization forced Dolores to reconsider her relationship with the lottery. She saw that she'd been chasing a mirage, a promise of hope that almost never came true. With Powerball odds of 1 in 292.2 million, her money was far more likely to disappear than multiply. So she made a bold choice. She stopped playing. Instead of spending $10 a week on tickets, she began placing it into a jar labeled Future Joy. This small shift changed her life in unexpected ways. With her savings, Dolores enrolled in a pottery class at her local community center, discovering a love for creating handmade gifts for her family. She joined friends on a day trip to a nearby vineyard, savoring laughter and connection. She even surprised her grandchildren with thoughtful presents, books, and art supplies that deepened their bond. These moments brought her real, immediate joy, unlike the empty promises of a lottery ticket. Dolores's story carries a powerful truth. True wealth isn't in the slim chance of a jackpot, but in the love, wisdom, and experiences we create each day. The lottery sells the illusion of a quick fix, but lasting financial security and happiness come from small, deliberate choices. If you find yourself buying tickets often, pause and ask, what am I really seeking? Could saving for a meaningful goal, investing in a skill, or simply spending more time with loved ones bring that dream to life? The life you want isn't won in a drawing. It's built, one wise decision at a time. 6. The true cost of food delivery convenience. In today's age of instant gratification, food delivery services like Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Grubhub have become staples of modern life. With just a few taps, a hot meal appears at your door. No cooking, no cleanup, just pure convenience. But this ease carries a steep price, not only in dollars, but also in its effect on our health, emotions, and sense of connection. Over time, the convenience of food delivery can erode the very nourishment we seek, leaving us both physically and emotionally depleted. Linda, a 63-year-old widow from San Diego, learned this firsthand. After her husband passed away, cooking for one felt like a painful reminder of her loss. The kitchen, once filled with shared meals and laughter, became a place of loneliness. 4 or 5 nights a week, she ordered takeout. Thai curry one night, pizza the next, then burgers or pasta when she craved comfort. The ritual was simple, soothing, and spared her the effort of planning meals or washing dishes. But over time, the toll became clear. During a routine checkup, Linda's doctor shared troubling news. Her blood pressure was rising. She had gained weight, and she often felt chronically fatigued, both physically and emotionally. Concerned, she examined her habits and was stunned to find she had spent more than $3,000 in 1 year on food delivery. Not on wholesome, nourishing meals, but on sodium-heavy, calorie-dense dishes that left her sluggish. Worse, she realized most of these meals were eaten alone in front of the television, disconnected from the joy food once brought her. That moment was a turning point. Linda committed to cooking at least 3 meals a week at home. She wasn't aiming for culinary perfection, just simple, wholesome dishes like vegetable soup, roasted chicken with herbs, or fresh salads from the local farmer's market. As she returned to the rhythm of the kitchen, something shifted. Cooking became self-care, a way to honor her body and her memories. The aroma of garlic and olive oil, the steady rhythm of chopping vegetables, the quiet pride of setting a table for one, all of it rekindled a sense of purpose. Linda even began inviting her neighbor, Maria, over for a weekly lunch. What began as a casual lunch soon became a cherished tradition, filled with shared stories, family recipes, and laughter. These moments of connection nourished Linda's spirit in ways takeout never could. Her health improved, her blood pressure stabilized, and she felt more energized. But the most profound change was emotional. Cooking had become an act of love, a declaration that she was worth the effort. This isn't to say food delivery has no place. An occasional order can be a treat or a necessity on busy days, but when it becomes the default, we risk losing the deeper nourishment that comes from preparing and sharing food. Cooking is more than a chore. It's a ritual of care, a bridge to memory, and a celebration of life. If you've been relying heavily on delivery, start small, perhaps 1 home-cooked meal a week. You might be surprised by how much joy it brings, not just to your plate, but to your heart. 7. The guilt of unused exercise equipment. The decision to buy it often starts with the best of intentions. A New Year's resolution, a milestone birthday, or a personal promise to prioritize health. We picture ourselves stronger, fitter, and full of energy, so we splurge on a gleaming treadmill, a set of high-end weights, or a stationary bike that costs as much as a small car. But too often, life intervenes, and that equipment becomes a silent monument to guilt, gathering dust in a corner. Nancy, a 69-year-old retiree from a quiet cul-de-sac in Savannah, Georgia, experienced this cycle firsthand. Last spring, driven by a desire to stay, eager to stay active, Nancy purchased a state-of-the-art elliptical machine. It had every feature imaginable: heart rate monitors, pre-programmed workouts, even a built-in fan. For 2 weeks, she was diligent, using it daily while watching her favorite morning talk shows. The machine felt like a promise of a healthier future, but as often happens, life got in the way. A family visit pulled her from her routine, a sore knee slowed her down, and morning workouts became less practical. The elliptical sat unused, its sleek frame now draped with laundry. Each time Nancy passed it, she felt a pang of guilt, not only for the $1,500 she had spent, but for what she saw as a personal failure. It seemed to whisper that she had given up, that she lacked the discipline to follow through. Nancy's experience is far from unique. Many people invest in expensive equipment believing it's the key to lasting fitness, only to end up in a cycle of shame when plans falter. But the truth is, fitness doesn't require a machine. It's not about the equipment. It's about movement, consistency, and finding joy in the process. Our bodies don't need $2,000 worth of technology to thrive. They need opportunities to move in ways that feel sustainable and fulfilling. Recognizing this, Nancy let go of the guilt. She sold the elliptical to a neighbor eager to use it, recouping some of her investment. Then, she chose a different path, one that didn't rely on costly gear. She joined a local walking group that met twice a week in a nearby park. The group, made up of women of all ages, offered fresh air, camaraderie, and a pressure-free environment. Nancy soon found herself looking forward to those walks, not just for the... Nancy didn't just look forward to the exercise. She treasured the conversations and connections that came with it. The change was transformative. She began moving more regularly, sleeping better, and feeling genuinely happier. She added other joyful activities to her days: gentle yoga from free online videos, dancing to Motown classics in her kitchen, even gardening under the warm afternoon sun. None of these required a big financial investment, yet they brought her something far more valuable: a sense of freedom and self-acceptance. If you have unused exercise equipment at home, remember, you are not a failure. You are human, navigating life's complexities. That guilt you feel is proof you care about your health, and that's a powerful starting point. Instead of letting that equipment define your worth, consider letting it go. Sell it, donate it, or repurpose the space. Then find movement that truly fits your life, whether it's a daily walk, a dance class, or simple stretches in your living room. Fitness isn't about perfection or expensive gear. It's about building habits that make you feel alive. You deserve that. And it's never too late to start. 8. The illusion of overpriced personal growth courses. The appeal is undeniable. They promise to uncover your life's purpose, ignite lasting happiness, and fill the void you've been carrying for years. Marketed with glossy testimonials and charismatic coaches, these programs tap into a universal desire for meaning and self-discovery. For some, they do deliver, offering valuable insights, structured guidance, and supportive communities that truly enrich lives. When thoughtfully designed, they can be worth their weight in gold. These courses can provide valuable tools and perspectives that spark real change. But too often, they come with steep price tags and fall short of their grand promises, leaving participants with little more than fleeting motivation and a lighter bank account. Barbara, a 71-year-old retiree from Minnesota, learned this the hard way. After more than 4 decades as a nurse, her days had once been filled with urgency, teamwork, and the quiet pride of making a difference. Retirement left her with an unsettling stillness, a void where her sense of purpose used to be. Searching for a way to reignite that spark, she came across an online ad for a personal coaching program. It boldly promised to help her rediscover her inner fire and open a vibrant new chapter in life. The cost was high, over $4,000. But Barbara convinced herself it was an investment in her future. This will change everything, she thought. signing up with a mix of hope and apprehension. For 4 months, she immersed herself fully. She attended weekly Zoom calls led by a polished facilitator delivering motivational talks. She completed stacks of reflective worksheets, joined active online forums, and took part in group exercises meant to inspire breakthroughs. At times, the energy was infectious. The enthusiasm of the coach and the stories from fellow participants made her feel on the edge of something profound. Yet beneath it all, a nagging doubt lingered. Something felt hollow, as if the program's real goal was keeping her engaged rather than truly. When the course ended, Barbara sat down to review her notes, hoping to capture the wisdom she had gained. Instead, she was struck by a sobering truth. The revelations she had paid for were lessons she already knew. The ideas about resilience, self-worth, and finding joy in small moments were echoes of what she had lived through: career challenges, personal losses, and quiet triumphs. The program hadn't uncovered anything new. It had simply repackaged her own hard-earned wisdom and sold it back to her at a premium. That became her turning point. Barbara vowed to stop seeking external validation for her worth. She didn't need a course to tell her who she was. She had always known. With new clarity, she began focusing inward and outward, finding meaning in authentic, grounded ways. She joined a local library book club where lively discussions reignited her love of learning and built new friendships. She volunteered once a week at a women's shelter, offering support to those facing hardship. Most importantly, she began mentoring a young woman who had recently lost her mother, sharing stories, guidance, and quiet moments of understanding. Through these acts of connection and service, Barbara felt her purpose roar back, not because she bought it, but because she gave it freely. Her story carries a powerful lesson. The richest personal growth doesn't come from flashy programs or hefty price tags. It comes from the quiet beauty of human connection, the courage to trust your own wisdom, and the generosity to share it. If you feel lost or uncertain, resist the idea that you need fixing. You are not broken. You are evolving. That journey takes patience, self-compassion, and real-world community, not a credit card. The most profound course you will ever take is the one you're already in, the course of life itself. And in that, you've already earned top honors. 9. The hidden costs of buying a brand new car. For many, purchasing a car is one of life's biggest financial decisions, second only to buying a home. It's a decision often wrapped in emotion, the pride of ownership, the thrill of a smooth ride, and the comfort of reliability. In retirement, when mobility and safety feel essential, a dependable vehicle can seem like a necessity, not a luxury. There's nothing wrong with wanting that security, but buying brand new often carries a steep, overlooked cost. The moment you drive it off the lot, its value drops sharply, draining your finances in ways that can impact your budget for years. By contrast, choosing a gently used or certified pre-owned car can provide nearly the same benefits at a fraction of the price, freeing up money for experiences that may bring far greater joy. Edith, a 75-year-old retiree from Illinois, learned this lesson firsthand. She had always driven used cars, valuing their affordability and practicality. But when her faithful sedan finally gave out, she faced a choice. Newly retired with some savings, she thought, "I've worked hard my whole life. Don't I deserve something shiny and new?" Swayed by sleek advertisements and the appeal of a fresh start, Edith visited a dealership and drove away in a brand new, fully loaded SUV. The price was daunting, and the monthly payments stretched her budget uncomfortably thin. Yet at first, the excitement of the purchase muted her concerns. The intoxicating new car smell, the whisper-quiet ride, and the admiring glances from neighbors. For a brief moment, it felt like a well-earned reward. But the honeymoon didn't last. Within a year, Edith learned a harsh truth about depreciation. Her SUV, which had cost tens of thousands, had already lost more than 30% of its value, thousands gone in just 12 months. The financial sting deepened as her budget tightened. To keep up with payments, she began cutting back on the small joys that had defined her retirement. Weekend trips to see family, spontaneous lunches with friends, even her annual tradition of attending a local theater production. The shiny new car, once a source of pride, now felt like an anchor, sitting in the driveway while her world grew smaller. Determined to reclaim her financial freedom, Edith made a bold decision. She traded in the SUV for a certified pre-owned vehicle, just 2 years old, low mileage, with a full warranty. The change cut her monthly payments in half, and in terms of comfort and performance, it was nearly indistinguishable from new. With the savings, Edith fulfilled a long-held dream, a scenic train trip through the Rocky Mountains, marveling at snow-capped peaks and sharing stories with fellow travelers. That journey, filled with breathtaking views and quiet moments of reflection, brought her a joy no new car could match. Edith's story underscores an important truth. In retirement, peace of mind is worth far more than status or fleeting admiration. A brand new car may give a temporary thrill, but its rapid depreciation and ongoing costs can erode financial security and limit your freedom. Before signing on the dotted line, pause and consider a smarter alternative. A certified pre-owned vehicle, thoroughly inspected and often backed by extended warranties, can offer the same safety and reliability at a much lower cost. The money you save can be redirected toward experiences, travel, hobbies, and time with loved ones, moments that enrich your life far more than the fleeting shine of a new car. In the end, the vehicle that truly matters is the one that carries you toward a life of fulfillment, not financial strain. We've now reached the end of our journey together. Today, we explored 9 spending traps that can quietly weigh on both our hearts and wallets, and heard the stories of wise women who learned to let go and live lighter. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one lesson that resonated most? What small change are you ready to make to create more peace and joy in your life? Share it in the comments, not only for yourself, but to inspire someone else who may need that spark of courage. Your support means so much and helps us continue these heartfelt conversations, empowering more women to live freely and fully in this beautiful chapter of life. Wishing you health, happiness, and peace. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Healthy Aging Blueprint.